When a child you love suddenly and completely cuts you off, it's a pain that's almost impossible to describe. It's just this storm of confusion, grief, and so much self-doubt. If this is your reality, I want you to hear me. You are not alone, and you are not crazy. So today, let's look at the science behind what's really happening, and hopefully find some clarity in all this chaos. Okay, let's just get right to the heart of it. Because for any parent who's going through this, there is one question that just echoes day and night. The one that keeps you staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning. It's baffling, isn't it? One moment you have this bond, this love, and the next, it's like a wall of anger has gone up. You're left replaying everything in your head. Was it something I did? Something I said? How can a connection that felt so real, so strong, just vanish? To find some real answers here, we have to look deeper than just the surface level conflict. We really need to understand the powerful psychological forces that are at play. And believe it or not, it all starts with a child's most fundamental, basic instinct. And this right here gets to the absolute core of why this is all so confusing. See, a child's brain is literally hardwired to attach to a parent, not to reject them. It's a survival instinct. Even in genuinely terrible situations, that bond often stays intact. So you have to ask yourself, if a child is pushing away a parent they once loved, what kind of powerful outside force could possibly be overriding one of their most basic biological drives? This leads to a really tough but absolutely necessary question you have to ask. Is this rejection based on things that I've actually done, or does something feel off? Think about it. A kid who's been genuinely hurt might be angry for sure, but there's often still a flicker of love, of sadness. With alienation, though, that's gone. It's replaced by this total black and white hatred. That lack of any mixed feelings, that's a major, major red flag.
So here it is. This is the key insight from the experts. This isn't your child's choice. Not really. It's a form of severe psychological manipulation. Your child's natural biological need to love you and connect with you is being hijacked. It's being rewired to meet the emotional needs of the other parent.
And what researchers have found is that this isn't just one thing. It's really a perfect storm. You've got this toxic family dynamic going on, you've got this psychological defense called splitting, where everything is black and white, and, this is critical, it has a real measurable impact on your child's developing brain. So let's look at that physical impact next. It's one thing to deal with your own pain, but the deepest, most terrifying fear is for your child, right? What is this doing to them? Well, that constant loyalty conflict, that psychological pressure, it isn't just emotional. It has a physical, measurable impact on a child's brain as it grows. 63%. Just let that number sink in. That is the percentage of kids in these high-conflict family situations who develop something called a blunted stress response. Okay, imagine a fire alarm that's been blaring nonstop for days. Eventually, the whole system just overloads and shuts down. That's exactly what's happening inside these kids' body. And you can see it right here. The vast majority of these kids fall into that blunted category. Their bodies are so overwhelmed with stress hormones day in and day out that their natural threat response system just burns out. This isn't a mood swing. It's a real physiological state called toxic stress, and it has really serious consequences for their long-term mental health. So, if you're seeing this rigid black and white thinking from your child, if you just can't seem to reason with them, it's not just them being stubborn. It's a neurobiological response. Their brain is literally stuck in threat detection mode, and that makes it nearly impossible for them to access things like empathy or nuance or complex reasoning, especially when it comes to you. Okay, I know that brain science can feel a little abstract. So, how does this manipulation actually show up in a child's behavior? What are the specific things you can look for? Well, researchers have identified a really clear set of signs. And listen, this is such an important point. This is not just a kid acting out during a tough divorce. We're talking about a specific cluster of 8 behaviors that, when you see them together, point directly to this kind of serious attachment problem. Let's go through a few. See if any of these sound familiar. How about this one? Does this sound familiar? This is my decision. You can't tell me what to think. It's one of the classic, most baffling signs. The child will fight tooth and nail to convince you and themselves that this rejection is 100% their own idea. But what experts know is that this is a defense mechanism. It's a psychological shield they put up to feel like they have some control and to deny the unbearable pressure they're really under. And think about these other signs. The reasons they give for their hatred, are they flimsy? Vague? Are they things that never even happened? And do they sometimes talk like a little lawyer, using these adult phrases that they don't fully get? And what about the cruelty? Is it delivered with this chilling lack of guilt? A child who has actually been harmed doesn't act this way. This is the behavior of a child who is parroting someone else's script.
And here's the devastating truth. This dynamic is never, ever about what's best for the child. It is all about feeding the emotional needs of the alienating parent. They create this little cult of two. It's an unhealthy bubble where they are the all-good protector, and you get cast as the all-bad villain.
I know. Hearing all of this can feel absolutely crushing. It can feel completely and utterly hopeless. But the same science that helps us understand this problem also points us toward the path forward, the road back to healing and, hopefully, to reunification.
Now look closely at these steps. The most important thing to see here is that you still have influence. You can't force your child to change their mind today, but you can control how you show up. Every calm, loving, non-defensive message you send, even if it's met with total silence, is a seed that you are planting for a future relationship.
This is your new mission, to become a secure base, a lighthouse. It means you stop defending yourself against every crazy accusation. You stop arguing about the past. You just remain a calm, steady, loving presence in the middle of their storm. When you can manage your own pain and not react to the chaos, you become the safe harbor they can finally sail back to when they start to see through the fog. So, this is the big shift in thinking, right? Once we all understand that this is a recognized form of psychological harm, everything changes. It's no longer about a battle to be won between two parents. It becomes about one single crucial mission: protecting a vulnerable child and restoring their fundamental right to love and be loved by both of their parents.